Captain John Raguso here for the Fisherman magazine, and we're in beautiful Bristol, Rhode Island with the folks from NorthCoast Boats on their newest introduction to the marketplace, the 255 HT. And today we're going to do a mini sea trial, and we're going to determine the best cruising speeds for this boat, top speed, whole shot, the whole nine, folks. So stick around and you won't be disappointed.
So at NorthCoast Boats, we build boats for the Northeast. They're born and bred out here, tested on Stellwagen banks, and they're designed to be stable at rest while you're and stable while you're dragging a big tuna over the rail. Certainly the boats are all capable of the inshore fish for bass, blues, bonito, and albacore, but they have high gunnels and they're a very soft, dry ride. So the 255 hardtop has a length overall of 31 feet 2 inches, has a beam of 9 feet 5 inches, and a fuel capacity of 159 gallons. We've got a weight, full weight, ready to fish at 7,981 pounds.
What we're doing here, time to plane is a very useful tool for boat performance. We've got 4 adults on the boat, a whole bunch of gear, half a tank of fuel. Then we're going to see how quickly we can get this boat up on plane, and we'll do it like this. 3, 2, 1, go. Right there. So essentially what we found here, this boat is extremely responsive to popping it out of plane. It gets typically up on plane in less than 4 seconds. We've done it a few times now, averaging about 3.5 seconds. This is testimony to the aggressive nature of the displacement on these 2 engines, which is 4.2 liters. It's also testimony to the propellers that we have right now, which are a 15.5 by 17 pitch. And right now, for getting out of the hole, these are great props. One of the most interesting aspects of the NorthCoast 255 HT is the hull design. It's very unique in the sense that she has 3 strakes per side, not the normal 2 strakes that you'll find on most competitive boats. What this does is 2 things. The first thing, you have that extra outboard strake, which helps keep spray down to a minimum, something that we've experienced today, during our sea trial. So she's definitely a dry running boat. Secondly, that extra strake, they're called lifting strakes. And what this does, it pops up this deep V hull on plane very quickly, especially powered by twin 250 Yamahas. What this means is that you'll get hole shots that we've experienced that are typically less than 4 seconds. Okay, secondly, the strakes also act as a stabilizer, and thirdly, they act as spray rails. So this is a pretty interesting boat, especially with a 62-degree forward entry angle that tapers back to 22 degrees aft. This is the ultimate test, where when you have a twin-engine boat, does one have the ability or the capability to get you home on plane using a single power plant? Sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't. We're going to all learn it at the same time, because we don't know, but we're going to try to do it. Why is this important? This is a large offshore boat with a deep V and a 159-gallon fuel tank. So with a judicious hand on the throttle, she'll give you a 100-fathom range to and from. So that being said, if you're out there 50 or 60 miles offshore and you have a hiccup of any type, being able to get home on one engine is always a welcome capability. We're going to find out if this thing can do it, and you're going to see it here first, right now. So what we've done, we've brought our trim all the way down, so tabs are fully down. We've shut off the starboard engine, and I've trimmed her out of the water. Port engine is working right now, as you can see from the tack, idling at 600, and the port engine is all the way down. The secret to getting a boat up and running on one engine is to get all the negative trim you can, both on the tabs and on the engine itself. And when she's up on step, gradually introduce a little bit of trim to get her up and running. Let's see what she can do. Here we go, folks. Let's see what she got. She's gonna do it. Yes, girl. Come on, girl. She is up and running, friends. Yes, she is. Get the smile on Greg's face. She's up and running. I'm going to introduce a little bit of trim, and this girl's going to get up and run. She's running at speed, doing 27, a little bit more than that now. One of the best things about this boat so far, besides the way she rides and the fact that she is dry and gets a high rate of speed at wide open throttle, she also planes at about 3,400 RPM, so you could go slow if the seas get elevated and be comfortable and be safe. The final piece to the jigsaw puzzle is that not all two-engine boats or twin-engine power like this can plane on one engine. This boat not only planed on one engine, but got over 30 miles an hour at 5,400, and at 4,500 we're turning about 25 miles an hour. This is more than enough speed to get you back in time when you're fighting the sun, when you're fighting the seas, when you're fighting the weather, knowing that you have the peace of mind to get back home on one engine for your offshore trips. Not every boat can do that, but the NorthCoast 255 HT, she can. Both of us have good visibility from the helm. The windows are pretty unique in the sense that the side ones are sliders with screens, and the front ones are rated at a very aggressive angle to shed water and to be somewhat aerodynamic, and they also pop out for vents. So, and the good news is that when you vent the window, the windshield wiper goes up and down with it, so it doesn't create a problem when opening and closing your windows. Here we are back at the dock taking a closer look at some of the fishability and comfort amenities that you'll find on the NorthCoast 255 HT. Right off the top you'll see, from a fishability standpoint, rod holders abound on this vessel. You've got 4 over here in the rocket launcher, 2 in each gunnel, 1 across the back here, 3 under each gunnel. One of the interesting attributes of this particular boat is the cockpit. It's large and it's roomy for a 25-footer. Gunnel height is just a millimeter under 25 inches, and the length of the cockpit is 6 feet long by approximately 7.5 feet wide. There's plenty of dancing room for the crew to go bottom fishing, wreck fishing, or bring a large pelagic fish alongside for either tag and release or for capture. By having a full transom, NorthCoast has put that to good use with a 28-gallon live well and a bait rigging station, as well as a transom bench that comes into play when you need it and tucks away when you don't. One of the things you'll notice with this NorthCoast is the fact that you have 4 flush cockpit sole hatches. To the left and to the right of me, port and starboard, you've got fish boxes that measure 48 inches long by 20 inches wide by approximately 11 inches deep. Each one of these has its own individual macerator to kick the ice, scurry, and contents overboard. What we have over here is an access hatch that allows total control over pumps, hoses, motors, and fuel filters. You won't find this on every boat, and sometimes you'll have to reach your hand down into a dark place with no access space. Not the case here on this NorthCoast. And you can see how thick the stringers are. Double thick stringers with cross members that are encased in foam. Each one of the fiberglass modules under the helmsman and the navigator seat or rest atop of a fiberglass box that does three things for you. Number one, it gives you welcome storage for the beverages of the day. Number two, each one of these boxes features tackle storage with a large deep box and two pull-out tackle trays. Another neat feature of this NorthCoast are the special helm seats that are made by Todd that sport the NorthCoast logos. Each one has adjustable armrests that go up and down, as well as a stand-up or sit-down bolster. The cabin of the NorthCoast 255 HT features a spacious queen-size V-berth. We've got storage to the port side with a kitchenette setup. The head area features a marine sanitation device with a pump out and a holding tank, as well as a freshwater sink and dry storage. It features 67 inches of standing headroom, so many of the family members can go in there without banging their heads. One of the cool things about this particular NorthCoast is the fact that the hardtop structure physically protects 4 people from the weather, not just 2 like on a lot of competitive boats. You've got the helmsman, the navigator, crew member number 1, and crew member number 2, all protected under the hardtop from rain, spray, wind, and weather. Yet another interesting feature of this NorthCoast is this comfort grip grab rail. Not just stainless, but it's got a soft neoprene insert on the back side to give you a better grip even when your hands are wet. In retrospect, what we have here is a very interesting boat for anyone who fishes in the Northeast. She's got 3-season protection, a hard top that'll keep 4 crew out of the weather. She's got great visibility with wraparound windshields. She planes on 1 engine. She's fast with a top speed of 56 miles an hour. She'll cruise all day long between 30 and 40 miles an hour. Got a roomy cockpit, fun for the crew and the entire family. If you're in the market for something like this that's well made and looks good, this could be your boat.